Hey, 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 good morning. Welcome. Hey, I am not Danielle Winningham, but I appreciate she is the best coach on the planet. And I'm so thankful for this opportunity to be here to share with you all this morning. Listen, it's day 3. I'm Tisha Marie Johnson, founder and CEO of Your Love of a Lifetime, helping you manifest true and lasting love. And we are doing a what he really wants relationship conference, but our morning conversation are those conversations are with women who have stood the test of time. So we're getting wisdom from wives every morning. So ladies, go ahead, share the broadcast, invite someone to be here. Where's Coach? Coach is not here today. Did you hear what I said? She is in the background. She was actually here yesterday, and she will probably be back one day this week. But in the meantime, I appreciate this opportunity for this and incredible and amazing relationship summit that it has been. Every night we've had special guests, the men telling us what they really want. So this morning and every morning, our conversation is with lovely ladies who have been married. Now, I got the veterans on today, but the ladies have been married at least 15 plus years. So you're getting for real wisdom from wives. So we're going to have the conversation today. I want you to go share the broadcast. If you have not registered, because registering has privileges to get in the VIP room after this conversation, if they're free, we're going to have a after party, so to speak. So go to bit.ly/he wants 2020, bit.ly/he wants 2020, bit.ly/he wants 2020. So again, good morning and welcome. Okay, well, thank you, MKDC11. I appreciate that. Good morning, D Morris. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for sharing the broadcast. I appreciate you. Good morning, Marnie. I appreciate you too. Listen, I'm going to let my beautiful co-host of sorts. I'm interviewing them actually. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And because Chiquita is a veteran here, this is my business sister. So she's on StreamYard. She's on the BYOB morning show. I'm going to let her go first. And then we will get this conversation started. I'm going to introduce my other guest to you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Chiquita Lindsay, and I'm the queen of real estate. And what I do is help women get over the fear of investing in real estate so they can retire early, not ever have to worry about money, and leave a legacy for their children. And I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Tisha, for inviting me to this summit. It's been amazing. Every day's been amazing, and we still got a few more days to go. And I'm proud to be on here with another one of the wives that's been in a long relationship to be interviewed and maybe help some of the women out there that's viewing today and on the replay.
Awesome, awesome. So yes, we're gonna get into Chiquita's story. You know, she has an awesome story as it relates to her work history and then transitioning from work to real estate. And so she's gonna help you get your money together. So I'm excited about that. Excuse me. And so also I have this morning, we just did the math. She has been in my life for at least 40 years. And you say, wow.
Wow.
I call her mom. She is another mother. She is a spiritual mother. She's a mentor. Excuse me. And I'm so honored to have her here as well. She is an apostle, prophet, pastor, teacher. She's all that. She is the fivefold. But I appreciate the gifting. I appreciate, and beyond that, even before all of that, I just appreciate the love that she's had for me, the support that she's had for me over the years. So I'm excited and honored to have her here. She is an apostle, Latanya Jimerson. Say hello to the people and tell them a little bit of
Hello.
something.
Hello. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here with such great company. spiritual daughter, Tisha Johnson, is, as she said, we did the math and it's 40 years in. And I'm excited to be live with her this morning and talk about uh, what he wants, marriage, which is something I've been in a long time, 43 plus years. And I'm not just married, but I'm happily married, and there is a difference.
There is a difference.
Amen. There is a difference. I can be married by on paper and not happy about it, but I am happily married, still absolutely thoroughly in love with my husband more than the day I married him.
Ooh,
And I'm
that's
glad, amen,
awesome.
glad to be on with my sister now, Chiquita Lindsay. I'm interested in hearing what she has to say about that real estate and everything. We're at that season in life where we're trying to see where we're going from here. Um, 40 some years and all adult children who are married with their own children. And so now we're trying to get our footing as to for the rest of our life. We still plan to live about 60 more years if Jesus doesn't come. Amen.
Absolutely.
But
Amen.
I'm thankful to be here.
Amen.
Awesome. We have some people. I just want to again shout out to D Morris. Thank you. Hey Marnie. We have Tatsa, I think it is. And I see my sisters in the audience, Linnea and Leah. Hey.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sarah, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to have this conversation. We're gonna get this conversation started. So, uh look, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. All right, so we're just gonna flow with this conversation. And again, you've heard that they've been married and happily married. And it's one thing to see people married and stay together, but it's another thing to know that they are happily married. I mean, these women, I can say, love their husbands. Now, I've never met Chiquita's husband, but I just know the way she dotes on him, and just looking at her, she looks like a happy woman.
Amen.
So, and it's a genuine happy, it's not a fake, smile kind of thing. So she has to have a good husband, but I'm sure that relationship, though they've been together a while, hasn't come without challenges. So Chiquita, tell them how long you've been married, and did you know what you needed, everything you needed to know when you said I do?
No, not really. Basically, I met my husband when I was 14 in 1969, and we've been together this whole time. We were married in 1980. We have 3 children, grown children and great grands. And when I first saw him, I immediately knew there was a connection, even at 14. I remember this was in
Wow.
the 60s. It was in the late 60s. Some of you all guys probably weren't even born then. And so I'm kind of like Latanya. I'm still get butterflies.
Oh.
I still get butterflies when I see my husband. He has a big smile on his face, and I have a big smile on my face. And I just think it was meant from God for us to be together. And looking back on all those years, we really haven't gone through a lot. A lot of things that some people go through. And I think I've been really blessed in this relationship because of that we hadn't gone through those ups and downs and things that traditional people go through in marriage. And so I guess I think not that experience of going through those ups and downs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I was 1 when y'all met. Wow. That's just like impressive to me. Wow, that's a beautiful story though.
Yeah.
So Apostle, tell us how long you've been married, and did you know everything? Were you like totally ready when you said I do?
Oh no, I didn't know. It's God's grace in my life. Joe and I's story is very interesting in that we met in September, were engaged by January, and married in June. So we didn't have the longevity, we spent a lot of time together in those 9 months, but we only had 9 months. I was 20 when I met him. I think I turned 21 right after we got married. So I was 20 when I got married. He was 23, and we were in Southern California. My home is Washington State. But our marriage in the 43 plus years, we've been here now in Maryland for the better part of 30 years, with a little break for about 18 months to 2 years. We did move to New York on assignment with him. And that speaks to our life in that we have lived a very transient lifestyle. Outside of those 30 years that we've been here, the first 13 years we moved, my family lived in 10 different places.
Wow.
He's a contractor, a contractor by nature, engineer by degree, and but he's in project management, and so we go where the work is, and we tried to do this and raise family at the same time and still be together because we wanted to be together, and so we were chasing his career, and it was more transient than military. But it worked for us. My children are very adaptable because of that move. My older two more than the younger two, but they can go anywhere and really get established because we recognized in that life that home was wherever we were, no matter what city we found ourselves in. So we've lived in every region except for New England. The highest we've been up on the East Coast is New York, Long Island, New York. But other than that, we lived in every region. The South, we lived 4.5 years in Detroit, which is where we met you.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. And I do remember the different states that you were in. So wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
A 18-month period, we moved 3 times.
Wow. We're gonna come back to that because I'm sure that was challenging
It is a challenge.
in and of itself, and
Yeah.
especially as raising a family, having children,
Yeah.
though children are like along for the ride,
Right.
it
Right.
can be fun for them, but it may have been a challenge, in terms of schooling and things like that. So we're
Yeah.
gonna come back and talk about that.
Okay.
Again, you guys, welcome to What He Really Wants Relationship Summit. I am Tisha Marie Johnson. I'm excited to be here. I'm glad to be here this morning. This is day 3. We're having conversations with wives, wisdom from wives conversations. So if you have not shared the broadcast, go ahead and share the broadcast and invite someone to come get this knowledge. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in, but register if you have not already done so. bit.ly/he wants 2020. We're going to have a after party, so to speak, after the conversation, and you don't want to miss that, but you got to register so you can get the information to get inside of the Zoom room. But I'm excited to be here and looking forward to. Now, it's always, I can say this, it's always been my hope and dream. I've known 3 things: that I wanted to be a wife, I wanted to be a mother, and I wanted to do something for God. Well, I feverishly pursued the wife and the mother thing. And, I can say I've had some relationship experience and I've been a wife. Combined together.
Yeah.
It's been almost 20 years combined together. But my story doesn't exactly look like what I imagined it would. So, did you ever imagine how your life is today, all those years ago? Chiquita?
No, I didn't. I basically in the beginning just wanted to be like you, a wife and a mother, and I wanted 6 children. And after having the first 3, I was like, there's not enough hours in the day, enough time. Because with me being an only child, my husband coming from a big family, I saw how his family always got together around holidays, and I missed that growing up.
Yeah.
And so if somebody had told me that me and my husband was going to be together this long, I would have thought, I really hope so. But I'm like, wow, when we run into people now, they'll say, wow, they're still together. after all of those years. So I'm just blessed that my life has even gotten better, because we've gotten older. I think that being a baby boomer, you expect something different in the beginning. We say, okay, get a job, get a good husband, have children, a house, a car, and you've arrived. And so, but when I got all of that, I was like, what else is missing?
Mm.
What else is missing, And like you said, we're staying at the same job for 37 years because that's what we do as baby boomers. Just we get somewhere and we stay, and so I'm just glad that I had that experience and been with the same person all this time because we definitely, learned a whole lot about each other. We basically grew up together.
Right.
And we didn't grow out of love. We grew, more in love with each other.
Ooh, that's amazing. We're gonna have to do a workshop, how to grow more in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome. And I didn't realize that, I always wanted 5 children because I'm my mother's only child. So I grew up alone and I wanted that whole, house full family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing that I hadn't spent more time with Apostle Latanya and her family, but I just loved that whole dynamic when they were here. Of course, the kids were little. It was awesome and amazing to me. My uncle, my mother's brother, had 10 children, so that was just like, wow, and I really did aspire to that because it was just something in my heart that just said, wow, to be a mother and a wife is a great thing. And it really is. However, I'm sure you all know that there's some crazy stories out there. And so I'm glad to have you ladies here because it's time that we highlight, happy marriages, long lasting marriages that have that longevity because, it seems like a lost art. It seems like something that, you're an anomaly because you've been with your husband for that long and that y'all still together, y'all happy and, your kids are functioning well and those kinds of things. So, I'm excited to have you here and, thankful for your story. So, Mom, same question. When you saw Pastor Joe, you thought however many years beyond now your life would look like it does. Were you ready for it? Did you think it would be this way?
Uh, I don't know that I did. I came from longevity. My parents were married 60 some odd years, and and I have the same dynamic in my household as my parents, except my last two are not twins. They're at least 17 months apart. But in our household, I grew up with a brother that was older than me, and myself, I'm the middle child, and then I have a set of twins, and they're girls too, and I have one son who is the oldest and 3 daughters. And so I have that same dynamic, but I didn't really plan it. My husband said that he grew up more like you, and that it was just he and his mom. And he told me that he wanted 5 kids. I signed up for it. He said he wanted 5 kids, but he really wanted boys. He wanted a basketball team. He said, now if we have a girl, we can stop. And so I had a boy, and then I had a girl. And, said 17 months later, and I said, we can stop. It was okay with me because I was used to having a lot of people around, whether they were sister or brothers or not. My kids, if they could speak, they would tell you that I'm probably a lot like my mom, and that we take in a lot of people that are not necessarily blood relatives, and they become family. So I'm used to a lot of people around. I'm very comfortable with that. I don't think my husband was at first, but he's kind of rolled with the punches, and we didn't get to stop. We thought we had stopped. I had that girl, and we did everything we could do. But 6 years later, I had another girl, and months after that, I had another girl, and then we had to help. We had to stop. So I see my daughter chimed in and say, "Yes, I am," and yes, I am. We have a lot. It obviously is a family thing. It must be in my bloodline. But I didn't know I can tell you that we credit the grace of God because, like I told you, we knew each other only 9 months. You didn't have the same length of time for discovery. We did have a great friendship, and we still have a great friendship. We're very different. We grew up different, but the common denominator is that we both grew up and were raised Christians. And that is the key. That is the key, I believe, for us, is that divorce wasn't an option. We knew we had to work and do what we had to do. Pastor Joe loves his children. That's evident. And so being apart, because I love them too, what we're going to do? We're going to stay in here and work it out. But we haven't had any infidelity to talk about. Our biggest challenge has been since the kids are adult. Both he and I are cancer survivors. I'm a breast and he's a prostate cancer survivor. The key word is we're survivors. We're healed in Jesus' name.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, he needed Leah.
Yeah. That's my middle daughter. Okay, I have 3 daughters, and that's the middle daughter. But she's my drama major. So good.
Awesome. So what really is the key now? You love them, but how do you love them when you don't like them? Or
Oh,
did you
yeah.
have days when you didn't like them?
Did I have days?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I probably can't explain why, and I'm sure that he has experienced the same. Um, but I love him. I love what he brings to the table, and I'm confident in what I bring to the table as well. That's how it really flows. That's how it really flows. Is that he's who he is, and I'm who he is, and I had to make a shift because with the transiency that I just told you about, we couldn't chase both careers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but one of the things that he had in his background in growing up is that because it was mostly just him and his mom, he spent time with babysitter and daycare and things like that. And he told me early on, and before we were married, that that's not what he wanted for his children. So he wanted me to sign up that when we had children, or if we had children, that I would at least stay home. And I signed up for it, but I didn't have any kids when we first got married, so I immediately went to work. Lo and behold, we have a honeymoon baby. So I didn't get to work that long in the beginning before I was sick and all that goes with pregnancy. And but what we matriculated into was this transient lifestyle. And so how would we have done both careers? And me, it really didn't work. So my career was raising the children until they got to a particular age, and then I went into ministry. And that's been my lot. I don't even know now. I stopped counting. 80, 91. So I've been in ministry that long. My sidekick, as you know, when I was there in Detroit, I did teach at a television acting school. And the reason we met is because of my position in the drama ministry there at our church. And so that's been my love. I was able to do that. I drugged the kids a lot to rehearsals and things like that. And that's how I got a drama major. Leah writes plays, and we do all her original plays at the church and things like that. So, but I didn't know. I was very young. I just was open. I signed up for it, and I'm accountable for what I signed up for. And as long as there was no abuse, emotionally or physical abuse, then I was up for the ride because I knew immediately kind of what he brought to the table, and I think he knew what I brought to the table. And it's not the same. It's a complement. Complete, COMPLEMENT. He completes me, and I believe I complete him too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Chiquita, same question. How do you continue to love even on the days that, you might not feel that way about him?
You know what? Honestly, it's never a day. There's no love and hate relationship over there. Now, I know that my husband is not perfect.
Right.
But the qualities that he's lacking is a trade-off. Would you rather have honesty, dependability, trust, instead of, then when I say he's not perfect, he's not the romantic type, but I am. So I have to bring the romance, and I got to work harder to the romance. So would I rather have a man that come in and say, "Oh, you're so beautiful," and all of this, and then as soon as he's out of my sight, he's telling another woman that?
Well,
right.
So it's a trade-off. And like Latanya said, you bring something else to the table. When I look at him, I always feel that he would be fine if I left first, because he could run everything. He would be fine. But if he left first, I would just be in pieces, because he does everything. Basically everything. And when I say everything, he does the house, he does the car, he does everything. He just totally spoils me rotten. Is he the most handsome man in the world? No, in first impression, but he's beautiful to me because I know his insides, and because a woman needs security and honesty. When he's not home, he's where he said he's supposed to be.
Amen.
And so you don't have to worry about that. So you got to kind of give up. What is it that it's not finding somebody you can live with, it's finding somebody that you can't live without, if you've ever heard that before. Yes. So it's not always perfection in the relationship. And I don't ever remember time that I've hated him for anything. Now, sometimes he may be running his mouth and I'm saying, okay, let me walk to the other room. And I run my mouth more, but he's the quiet top. He's the quiet person. So it's never any back and forth, any hate in this relationship at all. I know it kind of sounds crazy, but that's just
no. I mean, that's good.
I always get my way. Maybe that's true, but I always get my way.
So talk about communication. What does that look like, and how important has that been over the years in your relationship? Have you had communication struggles or issues that were challenging, and what did you do to get beyond them?
Well, go ahead, Latanya.
No, I don't know. I was asking who was she asking you?
Yeah, who you asking? Sid?
Both of you, but Chiquita, you can go first.
We communicate pretty well. Women and men, they're from two different places, and even in real estate, you tell a man what you want, and you got a picture of what you want, but it ends up being something different. So as long as I can explain it to him, and why it's this way, he's always fine. He basically said, "What we doing? What are we doing? I'm gonna follow whatever you decide that we're gonna do, as long as it's the good for both of us.
Okay,
I'm here. So long as that it makes sense."
Okay,
he's willing to do. Now he's not good on instructions. If I send him somewhere, I have to say, "Go by the food mart, make a left here, go to the red house, make a 360 here." He doesn't have those things. I have to take a screenshot and say, "This is what I want," but I know how to handle him, and that's okay. I can't send him to the grocery with a grocery list. I have to send him to the grocery with a picture list. So, and being together that long, I know how to handle that. The man that aggravates somebody else, but I know how he is.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And like you said, yes, you'd rather have the qualities that are desirable than to have somebody fake and phony in your face, and you thinking you have this loyal, trustworthy person, but they're not at all. So that's beautiful. And the having to give him pictures to go to the grocery store. Well, I know men that won't go to the grocery store at all, kind of thing. So, the fact that you can work through those things together and it's okay, it's not it. I mean, what's the inconvenience for the end result?
Right.
So that's wonderful. Right. So, Mom, same question. How is communication?
Communication between Joe and I is good. We are different, like she said. That you just gotta know them, and you know where their strong suits are, and where they're not really strong. If I tell my husband, go to the store and get milk, he knows what kind of milk we get. That's not difficult. But he always tells me, the past 3 things, you need to make a list. And you got to know that can't be aggravating. And you just got to put it together. Sometimes, and especially with technology, now I can text him. And by now he knows the brand. But if that's something I don't think he knows, I need to give him the brand. You and I, all of us know that not all cans of corn are equal.
Yeah.
And so brand does matter. He's not a cook, but what he does cook, he will cook for me. He'll surprise me, and I'm still upstairs, and he'll bring oatmeal and orange juice and coffee to bed because he loves oatmeal. And I really grew out of liking oatmeal until he started making it for me. So I do like his oatmeal. Doesn't do much for dinner, but simple things. He can fry a hamburger. He's learned to do a little bit of chicken on the Foreman grill or something, but that's not his strong suit. So I don't expect him to do cooking. I don't do cars. I drive them. The Chiquita knows what I'm talking. I drive them. I expect to put my key in, or now, of course, nowadays is push the button and everything run right. And when it doesn't, I do, and so it's about knowing each other and letting each flow where their strong suit is. I don't think everything is gender. And so if he cleans better, then let him clean. That's not my story. But if he cleans better, please let him clean. And if she handles finances better, then let her handle them. I don't take out trash either, but my father probably did that. I don't take out trash. I don't like bugs, and I'm sure that's what I would be looking for. And so I don't. I don't think that there's anything wrong with a woman taking out trash. I don't take out trash. I didn't. My sisters took out trash. So it was me personally that got spoiled, and I don't do that. And so we communicate. We learn each other. What I don't like, and Chiquita touched on it, my major peeve is deception and lying. I can't do it. Lying and deception for me can be a real deal breaker. And that's not who I have. I have an honest man, and I'm thankful for that. And he knows that I'm honest. We just talk truth. We're not mean or cruel to each other. And some truths sometimes are difficult to hear. But as I was growing up, in the marriage, one of the early things that my husband had to deal with me about is my sarcasm. I thought it was wit, but some of it was sarcastic to the point where it felt like I was kind of shoving him a little bit, and I had to work on that. When I was thinking about the title, the subject, what he wants is different for everybody. Right. For somebody that might not even been that might have been fun for them. But for him, it wasn't. And because we have an open relationship, we communicate well. He's able to talk to me about things he's probably never talked to anybody about. And same thing on my side. Then I need to be intently protective of how he feels when he's communicating with me. And so it's something I had to work on. Probably doesn't bother him as much as it used to. But in early marriage, it did. And that is the one thing I did have to work on. He didn't ever want to hurt my feelings. He doesn't like this. We don't agree on the timing, but I promise you, it took him 4 years to tell me that he didn't like it when I cut his sandwich. So, 4 years. He could have said it the first time. That's my opinion. But he didn't want to hurt my feelings. Now, at 43 plus years, guess what? He loves it when I cut his sandwich. So, and I said that to say this, that it's not necessarily the same. And how boring would it be anyway? It's not the same today as maybe it was in June of 1977. Right. So you grow, things ebb and flow. And so, like she said, there's no hate. You can't stay with somebody you hate. He may do something I don't particularly like. But I always love him.
And I like what you said, Latanya, about you cut his sandwich, because my kids always kid me. They would say, "Mama, you put salt and pepper on Daddy's food." Yeah, I fix his plate, and I set it in front of him, and I salt and pepper it. Because I want to make him feel special.
Yes.
He does
Yes.
everything else. What is it that I do that he's going to miss?
Yes. Yes.
Ooh,
Yes.
ladies, are y'all hearing this? Nah. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't get caught up yet. We're gonna get caught up in the Zoom room. Let's see. D says, I love that, Chiquita. Me and my spouse are the total opposites, but we complete each other and we respect our differences. No one is perfect, but we make it work for us.
Yes.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's great, D. Because I know a lot of people nowadays, the first little thing, just takes them, they fly off the handle. And, the person that says divorce is not an option, and really means it, you're going to do the work necessary so that that is not the case. But nowadays people use that so flimsy. And, speaking from a woman who's been divorced, but I didn't do that flimsily.
Right.
I
Right.
know that in the situations I did everything that I could do. But when you have a person that is not willing to meet you where you are, not willing to go as far as you're willing to go to make it work, then sometimes you have to make choices. So one of the things that is important to me is that women position themselves so that they make better decisions, better choices about relationships and about who they decide to make, a lifelong covenant commitment with. Can you share with the ladies, and we have some men watching as well, but specifically the ladies, share with them the kinds of qualities and characteristics that they need for themselves, because I think even before you get to him, you got to be healed, you got to be whole. You need to have some things going for you.
Well, I'm going to say this, Tisha. I was young, and at 20, I'm sure that I had work to do. And at the time that I met my husband, I was really coming from a very broken place.
Mm.
I told you how quickly we got to marriage, but what I told him exclusively, and if he was looking for a wife, he probably need to keep moving. So that's how little I knew about me. What he did know is how to pursue me. He wanted me, he pursued me, and even with my hurt place, he made it his business to help heal me.
Mm.
That whatever that negative that I had experienced in my former relationship, whatever that was, he made it apparent that that wasn't him at all, and that he deserved a chance, and not necessarily by said, but what he did.
Mm.
And that old cliche that actions speak louder than words.
Mm.
It was not what he said as much as the way that he handled me and the way that he loved me. But so no, I didn't have it all together. When I tell you it was, I know I did it. And even into the marriage, we did hit a spot one time, and I had been in an abusive situation, and that does something to you. And if you're not careful, you become an abuser. And I really did in a little dispute. It was a little intense, and I felt kind of caged in. And I'm being real transparent today. I jumped in. He held me, but it gave us an opportunity to talk about what I had really been through. And he never put me in that place again. I couldn't, to be caged up in anything like that. Now you can do it. It really don't bother me, but it's a lot of years in there. And so I wasn't really healed, but I was willing to do the work. And I had somebody who believed that he was part of my healing. And he operated and he functioned like that. And so no, I didn't have it all together. But again, I go back to the fact that principle wise, it was the same in that God, our God was at the center of the marriage. And we would really have to say, where would he have us go with this? But I was plenty, and we came from different background. He was raised by a single mother. I came from what people call an intact family. My mother and father were both there. My sisters and brother were in the house, but I myself had been in a very difficult relationship for a brief amount of time, but it really truly did cause a lot of damage. It was me. You know how we can blame other people, but for real, it was me. I had no business in that. But I was busy trying to prove how grown I was at 18, and it cost me. It cost me, and so I thank God for my godsend.
Awesome. Chiquita, what qualities, what self characteristics would you say are important for women to possess before they get into that relationship?
I don't know if this is a good question for me. Having met my husband at 14, I was still a kid.
Okay.
But I do know, looking back, even now, if I had been in this situation, I had to look for another mate if I was. I definitely know what I want, and I can't get sidetracked by the shiny objects. And I definitely want a real man, and I'm looking for security, not looks. I'm looking for somebody who's going to treat me like I've been treated over those past years. It's going to be tough for another man to come in and treat me the same way. But I think women need to know that they're the prize, and you don't have to settle, and you might just need to wait until that right person comes along that's for you. I think when you see them, you will know it. You will know it, as long as you know who you are first, and where you come from and whose you are. You'll know that you have to be treated with love and respect to have a long-term relationship. Yeah.
I love that, Chiquita. You have to know who you are.
Right.
You got to know who you are. But a lot of times what happens is, we're still fumbling around with where we are, who we are. And so how do you know if he's right for you if you don't even know you yet? Right. And that I think that's a lot of times a difficult spot. And you don't want just a man, and Chiquita dealt with that as well. You don't want just a man, a male. Right. You want the one that is for you. My husband's my friend, and I believe Chiquita's husband is his friend. And so I command him to live every day.
Yeah. Well, I tell my husband all the time, I want to go first.
I do too. I say the same thing.
Because he won't even let me pick up a screwdriver. I don't do nothing around this house. He does everything. I handle the finances, but he handles everything else. So I pray that both our husbands live a long time. We both.
Yes. Right? Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. So you guys, listen, this is so rich. I hope that you ladies are taking copious notes, because they are laying it down this morning. Yes, Daddy's Girl is beautiful. These are beautiful stories that are worthy to be highlighted. And I'm just like, I'm sitting here trying not to cry, but you see me wipe my eyes. I'm like, wow, that is so amazing. And I'm excited for this conversation. Listen, if you have not shared this broadcast, I don't know what you're waiting for. Maybe you having a moment, but come on, hit the share button. Whether you're on Periscope, we see you. On Facebook, hey. If you're on YouTube, we see you there too. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us. We are having the Wisdom from Wives conversation. This is what he really wants relationship summit, and I'm talking to wives this morning. And ladies, you have to understand that it ain't just about the dress and the day, and you got to have a plan beyond I do.
Yes.
You gotta do the work
Oh,
before
God.
you get to I do.
Right.
And understand, I think it was Desiree that said marriage is work. Marriage is work.
Mhm.
But when you're with the right person, it's beautiful. You sacrifice, but in the end, you're there. And I like how mom said, Pastor Joe is her friend. Yes, I
Mhm.
want to be in a relationship with my friend. Are we always going to agree? Just like with my best friend, are we always going to agree? No, we don't always agree, but it's that love. I know she got my back. She knows I have her back. Is love, and nothing and nobody is going to change that.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
you've got to, ladies, you got to do some work. If you've been in relationships that have you in a place where you're like, I don't know if I want to do that again, take the time, relish the time that you have alone. And look, it was me, because I was like, being single sucks. Oh my God, Lord, you already know this is not where I want to be in my life. How could you? How could you? Well, I had to look at me. It wasn't him making the crazy decisions. It was me. It was me making the decisions like, okay, come on, God bless it. No. I needed to do some things inside of Tisha
Mhm.
before I should have ever tried to bring somebody else into that equation. So this is, yes, Ola, they are blessing us. The plan before I do, I love it. Absolutely. It's so much more. So now
You know what, teacher? There was
yeah,
something that you said, I gotta hit it.
okay.
That dress and the party, that's an event.
Mm,
That is not the marriage.
yes.
That is an event culminating a decision that you made, and we have got to plan past the event. Um,
Exactly.
we do a lot of marriage counseling, and we have gotten to the place where we almost don't even like to try to counsel people who come with a date, because their attention is on that event, and we need to deal with life after the event.
Yeah.
And so, and sometimes we say we don't even counsel people who have a date.
Mm,
We counsel people to see if you want to have a date.
That's good. That's
yeah.
good.
Because what we have found, it we've had it both ways. We have found it, if we cancel people and they already come with a May 23rd date, their attention is more on the event, the dresses, the bridesmaid, the shoes, the men. And we need to find out if you're really ready for that. And so to come to us for counseling, there is 163 questions that you will answer for us to start.
Wow.
Good stuff.
And it deals with finances, it deals with scenarios with the children, it deals with jealousy. How if you're at a gathering together and your mate is being flirted with, how do you respond? Come on.
Yeah.
And it's 163 questions, and I can tell you there are people that didn't make it past those questions. Their own decision. We don't have to make a decision. You see on paper, you see, because you're dealing with real life, whether or not you're ready to go the distance with this person. So it's that the dress and all that is pretty, and I think that's what does. And I think more for women than men. What dress am I going to wear? Is it going to be long and flowing or fluffy or whatever? Am I rhinestone, a lot of bling? But that's an event, and it's over with so quickly. It's ridiculous.
Wow. I agree.
We gotta we really have to plan for the rest of your lives together. And that's what we deal with. And we deal with that intently, because I'm having a great time in my marriage. I really am. And, Chiquita's already said it, and I've co-signed what she said. And I command my husband to live every day. That's part
Mm.
of my prayer. I command him to live. I
Yeah.
command him to live and not die.
I do
Not
a
try to
target.
leave me here, because I don't want that.
I
I
do a
don't want
target
that.
prayer.
Hmm?
I'm sorry, Latanya. I'm sorry.
No, that's
I
fine.
said I do a targeted prayer where every time you walk
Yes,
out the door,
that's right. That's
and
right.
on this whole body, Lord, anybody that's going to do him harm, let them be blinded. I do a targeted prayer around him. In fact, my
Amen.
whole family. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's key. I think we're sharing something, that we pray for our spouses. And I know my husband prays for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you pray for your spouse, you pray for your loved ones.
Right.
Uh, but please, ladies, don't get caught up in your event. And even Chiquita said, don't get caught up in looks because, it's cliche, but it's real. All that glitters is not gold.
Exactly.
And I've dated many, and I've dated those that look real good, and they wasn't no good for me.
Yeah, it's good.
We. So, ladies, a couple things that I want to hit before we definitely get out of here. And again, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm Tisha Marie Johnson. For those who do not know me, I am excited to have these beautiful women here for the What He Really Wants Relationship Summit. Feel free to join us tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to talk to him about what he really wants. But I thought it was important, even in the planning, I thought it was important to hear from the women, and especially women that got as I said, got the cookie, the t-shirt, the trophy, and everything to prove it. Those that have been in long-standing marriages, because you don't know what you don't know. And I like how you said it, Mom. It's an event. You planning for an event, but what about the rest of your life? And so it does you no good to make this preparation. You have this nice dress and you spend all this money. My thing, I've never had a very expensive, I've always had nice weddings, but they weren't very expensive because I'm like, I got to live beyond the day. So who wants to spend $50,000 and you living in somebody's basement the day after? That makes no sense. Now if you got it like that, you got it like that, okay. But most people are so focused on that day and that event and not beyond it. So that's absolutely incredible. I almost want to ask the man the 163 question before I say, I got some people I need you to meet, because my snookums got some people to meet whenever he finds me. But I want to definitely talk about two things, and especially because you guys have been married for so long. And so my sisters, don't, y'all go in the other room if y'all need to, because I know this might be sensitive for some of y'all. But what is the intimacy and the romance like? Now, Mom, I know for you, because you've been on our Fiery Friday, so I know. And Chiquita, I hope this doesn't make you uncomfortable, but I want, because I know some people are like, oh, when I get to a certain age, we not gonna be doing nothing. Don't kiss me, don't. No, till Jesus come back.
Right.
I want him to hug me. I want him to kiss me like from day one.
Right.
And intimacy should go on until the end.
Yes.
Yes, but they're still in fact, you know each other better.
Yes.
You know each other better, and you're more relaxed. And intimacy is not only laying on your back. It's
right.
all day.
That's right.
It's touching when
Say it, sis. All day.
It's touching. I touch my husband every day on his private part. When he walks past me, I'm touching. If you don't give them those compliments and those touches at home, I don't want no other woman to tell my husband things that I should have been telling him.
Come on.
That's wisdom. Wisdom. Hashtag wisdom.
It is.
Right. So intimacy is more than just sex. Intimacy is can be a lot of things all day long. But there's still sex in the marriage all the way to the end. It may not be 2 or 3 times a day like you was when you was in your 20s, but you still getting it.
That's right. Now this is really transparent. It's so vital and important. It was one of the things that my husband had to deal with in choosing the method in which he was going to deal with his prostate cancer. Because the whole idea of him losing that was shaking him up. But I can tell you, we're still active. We're still active. And yes, we have PDA. A lot of public display of affection.
Oh,
Anything I don't want nobody else to do with
right,
my husband and for
right,
my husband, I do
right.
it.
Exactly. That's the
That's
key.
how that works.
That's exactly.
You don't want nobody fixing his tie, fix his tie then.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag wisdom.
Yeah. You tell him he smell good, he look good, he the
That's
smartest
right.
man in the world.
You don't want nobody else telling him, and you didn't tell him.
Right.
The one he signed up with. So Chiquita is telling really the truth. And guess what? My husband does that too.
Mm-hmm.
He'll note that I have on something new. I think he would have just, I would think he didn't even notice. And he'll make sure I know that he noticed.
Now, yeah. Now my husband's the opposite. He don't, if he don't say nothing, he like it. Now, if he don't, then he may say something, you know, he may mention it. But he's a Sagittarius. Sagittarius tend to say bluntly sometimes.
That would be my mother.
Yeah. So if he don't say nothing, he like it. And that's just how he is. And you know, it's okay.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Look, hashtag wisdom, y'all. Who is this? Your faith life says cuddle is very important. Yes. And Chiquita's so right. Intimacy is not just physical, you know, there's spiritual, intellectual, and intimacy should take place over the course of the 24 hours. It ain't an event. It ain't once we get in the bedroom. It is an all day thing, and you have to cultivate that. And I believe, you know, yes, the longer you're together, the more intense and the better it should be, because you know that person more intimately. And ladies, you need to get to know your husband. You hear them saying you want to do everything that he needs to have done because you don't want anybody else to do that in your stead.
That's right.
Telling him he looks good, you know, complimenting. Men want to be respected, and so, you know, your words of affirmation, you know, you're not, you know, disrespecting him in front of other people. I mean, we could go down a laundry list of things that should be done, but you know, make sure that he's the focus. You know, of course, God, but him.
Yes.
You know, don't leave it to chance, and then you wonder why, you know, other stuff happens.
That's right.
That doesn't have to. We are almost out of time. This has been so wonderful, and I couldn't have planned it better. I didn't really even think about the fact that both of you have had such long lasting marriages in the planning, so to speak. So I'm thankful that things worked out the way that they did, because you both have brought, you know, such rich content to this community about, you know, just what a long-standing marriage looks like, the things that you need to have. And of course, you know, Chiquita being the queen of real estate, come on, Chiquita, you gotta help these women get their life together. What do they need to do as it relates to real estate?
Wow, they need to own something. You know, a statistic is women do live longer than men. And so we have to make sure that we have something in retirement that we own that's going to take care of us to the end. We can't depend on Social Security. You can't depend on a pension to take care of you. And when I say owning something, I'm not like buying your own house and in a mortgage. I'm talking about having this little piece of property over here that can pay you for the rest of your life, that nobody can ever take from you. I'm talking about not going to a job and work 30 years and think that they're going to take care of you, because they're not. And so there is life after work. When you work in 30 years, that's that. When you retire, that's rebooting your life. You know, if you and your husband, it's time for y'all to travel, to do whatever, and not worry about not having enough money. Don't spend all the money on the children, and the children love you, but will they take care of you?
Right.
So my thing is Social Security, social insecurity. is not enough money. If something happens to your husband, they're going to make you choose. Whose check is you're going to get the largest check. You ain't going to get his and yours. But if
That's
you
right.
have a little property over here that's paying you every month, you guaranteed to have money. I don't care what the stock market does. You still got money. People lost whole houses in the stock market. Get something you can feel, you can touch, you can leave to the children, you can leave to the grandchildren, and you can live off of it until your last days.
Yes.
And if you've already been in that job 30, I was there 37 years before I quit. I quit a job in a hospital job after 37 years because every year I stayed there, I was getting broker and broker.
Wow.
Every time they send me my little piece of paper and says, when you retire, you will get X amount of dollars. I was like, I can't do nothing with that. No. So what can I do? So just fortunately, in 2008, in the real estate boom, I bought my husband, he's older than me. So I said, okay, when you retire, we still want to live the way we're living. So what can we do? Let's buy a couple of properties. So we bought a couple of properties. See, when people were running out, we were running in. We grabbed those 2 properties, but I still did not realize those 2 properties was going to help me walk away from a job. I still was going to work every day. So finally, when I said, Lord, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Because I'm physically and emotionally exhausted at this job, and I'm working paycheck to paycheck. If I stay another 6 years, I'm going to be almost 70 before I retire. What will I be able to do? And so, I prayed and prayed, and I even said, what does God's voice sound like? Because I've been praying and I ain't been getting no message. Am I missing it? I even asked my friends, what do you see me doing? What am I good at? It was there. So family, I said, well, just forget it. I'm just going to stay here. Didn't realize that I had already put real estate in my hands. And it was so easy with those properties that was going to save me until I ran into the founder of this platform, the Dr. Reverend Danielle Winningham. And she let me see, look, you've already had, look in your hands. What is your leg in your left hand? What is your right hand? Why are you kicking bags of money around? So I decided I need to leave this job because they're preventing me from going out doing what my purpose is saving me and then coming back and saving other women and letting them know that women, it's not just about being an agent. You need to be an investor, own something. When you go out there and get that 30-year mortgage, you're buying 2 houses. You're buying one for you and you're buying one for the mortgage company. Where is that? And I've seen too many people that lose parents and they lose the house. The family loses the house.
Yes.
Even though their mom's dad's been there for 30, 40 years. And people that retire and have a house paid for and go and get a reverse mortgage and get right back into debt. And the families don't know that the mom and dad had a reverse mortgage.
Yes.
She couldn't afford to live. She couldn't afford the light bill. She couldn't. And I was like, no, it's not going to be me. And it's not going to be any other woman that hears the sound of my voice. And so that's what I do now. And that is my mission. Real estate saved me. And any woman that can listen, I'm telling them and showing them how it can be done. In owning something. What do you own? I don't care if it's a piece of land, pitch a tent on it and go live on it. If you lose your house in foreclosure, go to that land and live on it. They can't never take it from you because you're only 6 months away from losing that house in foreclosure.
That's good, Chiquita.
Yeah.
Wow. So how can people get in touch with you if they needed to?
I'm on social media. I'm on Chiquita Gally Lindsay in social media, Facebook. And I do have a link for them to get a free ebook.
Okay.
And darn, my mind is a blank right now. It's bit.ly retire 2020. I believe that's it. Because they make us think we gotta wait till we're 65, 70 to retire. Really, it's a number. It's a number. It's not an age. So it's Retire 2020. If that doesn't come up, Tisha, I'll give it so you can post it later. And it's called Don't Women Get Left Behind in Real Estate.
That is great. That's a great resource. I will be getting that myself.
Very good.
We're at that age where we do have to think about that. Even what you said about Social Security, a lot of people don't understand that, you're going to choose one or the other. And of course, you're going with the highest one. What I did is I'm drawing mine right now because my husband has not yet retired. So my son-in-law looked into it, and that's when I decided, well, let me go get mine now. And then when my husband, because that's the only time I'll be able to touch whatever it is I put in. And so I'm drawing mine now, and then when he retires, then we'll get his.
Right. Very good.
But as she said, it's not enough to live like we live.
It's not enough. But, your medical, you got more expenses when you retire. But back in our day, it was like, have everything paid for. When you retire, you won't have a house payment, you won't have a car payment, but you're still living below the poverty level.
Right. So look, we don't want to sleep on that.
Right. Definitely. So thank you, Chiquita, for sharing that. And I hope that you guys go to the link. It's in the comments, bit.ly/retire 2020. Get that free ebook, connect with Chiquita so that you can learn what you need to do so that you can be an owner, not have a mortgage, be an owner, an investor, so that property, real estate can take care of you and your family to come.
Right.
So, Mom, what is it that you want to share with the ladies in particular, like a lasting note for them, whether it be, personally, spiritually, in ministry, as a wife? What would you say?
That's all of that is huge. But I think one of the things I want to say, and it was Bishop Vaughn who said it to me in a VIP session, and it stopped the way we do marriage. The candle, lighting the unity candle, and you light the candle and blow them out. And she said, why do you blow the candles out? Who wants somebody who's not still burning? And so what I want to share with women is, you get married, yes, your life is combined with your husband, but don't lose who you are either, because that's who he fell in love with, is you. So don't allow your fire to go out, because that's what he was attracted to. And sometimes I think it can be lost if you don't have a sense that you are still important. You're sharing a life now, but you're bringing you to the table. Don't blow your fire out. Don't put your fire out. Don't lose yourself. That's what I would say, women. I say that in women, but don't lose. I'm saying it to women, but it's really true about men and women. Marriage is, you're attracted to something in that person. Why would you want that to go out? And why would a man want who he was attracted to go out? You just learn how to make them flow together.
It's good.
Wow.
That's good.
Awesome. Chiquita, that link didn't work.
I know, I was looking at it, sis.
So we'll get the right link.
Okay.
So that we can share with the people. But this has been so incredible. Yes, Joanne, that was beautiful. Oh wow, you guys, I gotta have a way to get you back, because there's so much more. We just scratched the surface of some things. There's so much more that you could share with the women, but you've given us enough. I can say you've given us enough to make a different start today. And I'm just, again, so honored and thankful for both of you for coming to share with the women. I'm honored that you're here, that you would take time out. And if you have a few minutes, I want you to come on over with us to the Zoom room. Maybe there are other questions that we didn't get to talk about here, and we can definitely talk about behind closed doors. But again, thank you, Chiquita. Thank you so much. I love you, sis. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you so much. I'm looking forward to taking one of your courses because I'm so ready.
Yes.
And somebody say ready. I'm so ready
Yes.
to fire my boss. But
Yes.
I'm excited, and what you shared today was just powerful, and I'm so thankful to be connected to you. And Mom, it goes without saying, I love, always have loved, always will love, and appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing. And I can't wait till the world get off punishment and I can come on back to Maryland.
I know, right? I told my husband yesterday, I feel like we're hostage
Yeah,
to
Mhm.
COVID,
yeah.
and I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
But
Yeah,
I feel like we're all kind of held hostage. I'm trying to see the positive in it.
yeah,
We like to travel, but right now we're looking at what's near home.
yeah.
Right.
Absolutely,
Right. Stay
Yeah,
safe. Right.
absolutely.
yeah.
Teacher, thank
Yeah.
you for having me on the platform, and also here with Latanya. It's a blessing to be in the room with her also.
Amen.
It's been fun.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I
Amen.
can
It,
come
it
over.
is.
I
I'm gonna be
appreciate
in touch. Look, I'm gonna be in touch too. Maybe I need a course.
Okay, do that.
Get me some real estate that's paying me this mortgage fee because this one I still have it.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
sis, you're
I
welcome.
want to talk about that. I want
Yes.
to learn about that.
All
Yes.
righty.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys go to register bit.ly/. He wants 2020 so that you can get the information. You can also get the information to join us in the Zoom room. And we're giving away some gifts and prizes at the end of the week. So you definitely need to share this live broadcast or one of the live broadcasts. This live broadcast. Ooh, what am I talking about? One of the live broadcasts and also register. So you got to do both to be entered into the drawing. So again, you guys, this has been so incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Again, go ahead and share the broadcast if you have not already done so. Join me tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have an incredible conversation with the man about what he wants, and I'm excited for this entire conference. Again, shout out to the best coach on the planet, the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham. I appreciate you, Coach, for allowing us to be here to have these conversations. And listen, I'll see you guys later. Have a great and awesome day. Meet us in the Zoom room if you can. All right, you guys. Love you guys.
All right. Bye.